So I actually want to talk about a story time. One of the first things I want to talk about is actually how I found out about the DR. I'm a software engineer. Even though I say I'm a hobo traveler, I really make money online, building websites, building a lot of systems. And at the time, I was like, hey man, I want to use some of my vacation days. Where's a good place to go down to? I thought about Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, and La República Dominicana. And the first thing I was like, man, the Dominican Republic's pretty close to Florida. So let me just check it out. I came down to Puerto Plata, came down to Sosúa, Cabarete, and checked out a whole bunch of different towns. Because I spoke Spanish, a lot of things came really easy to me. I met a ton of girls, went to the beach, ate a lot of great food. And the surprising thing is I met a lot of lifelong friends here. See, one thing I suggest guys do when they come down here is meet other expats. Don't, leave that American bullshit in the, man, I don't know that nigga, he from this side, and like, leave that shit in the States. Right. Like, the first thing you want to do is get together with a lot of old heads here in the DR, because they'll be able to give you the information, what, the prices to pay things, from food to excursions to the price of fruit. So, hey, so whatever you're looking for is here in the DR, but you really got to be smart about it. I know a lot of guys that come here and they overpay for rent, they overpay for their food, and they overpay for so many different services.
Transportation.
And yeah.
Transportation too.
And transportation too. Because they didn't ask somebody how much something really costs. It's great to be here and, listen to the locals, but you also have to be careful and also trust in the words of other expats. Like, for instance, one of the things is they'll overcharge you for taxi rides. You really gotta be smart to see how much it costs to actually go from one side of town to the next, or one city to the next. Because an example is, if you're somewhere in Santiago, you can take an Uber, and a lot of times my Uber prices are like 150 to 130 pesos, which is $2 to $3. But if you're in an area like Sosúa or Puerto Plata, they're gonna try to hit you over the head. They're gonna be asking for $10 or $20, but a ride might only be like $3. A lot of guys also come down here and get their taxi guy. Now, this taxi guy that you might get might be a hustler. Now, one thing I've seen is guys try to pretend to be rappers, pretend to be a lot of things that they're not, and they don't mind throwing money in the air and say, hey man, don't pocket watch. I'm not pocket watching, a lot of guys aren't pocket watching, but they're saying, set an example. Don't overpay for things when it's not necessary, because you start making other people a target. Just like what happened in Colombia. Guys were throwing money on the table, talk to me.
I remember
and then
that.
they got robbed. They got robbed and tied up, and they could have been killed. Now, luckily, there's not a lot of that happening on in the DR, but I've heard of situations where guys have gone to jail. I've actually seen Dominican jails before, but that's for another story. But a lot of guys get shaken down. A lot of guys get shaken down by the girls, by the shop owners, by the police, by pretty much anybody that can see you as a target. So you really have to learn how to move in a foreign country, because the American justice system is not going to help you here. It will not help you at all. You might have some type of counsel, but it's an unofficial counsel from, the embassy. They're not sending their lawyers to come help you. So if you're locked up, that's your ass. No, really, it is. So you really better watch. You really better watch out.
Anything else?
Nah.